Hello, gorgeous ladies, and welcome to Womb Aura. My name is Crystal, and for all of the gorgeous ladies that continue to support this channel, thank you, and I love you so much. For all of the people who see me, who hear me, who take the time to understand me, thank you, and I love you so much. If you have not done so yet, or maybe this is your first time here, I ask that you subscribe, like, and comment. I love interacting with my audience. I love when you ladies comment and place your insights within the comment box, or even ask questions, because it allows me to truly and deeply connect with you. On today's episode, we are going to talk about the power of vulnerability. And of course, if you see me looking down, I'm just looking at my notes. I am also drinking a beautiful herbal tea that I created today, and it is a mixture of raspberry leaf and rose petals. Rose petals, as we know, are just very sacred flowers. They help to increase the feminine energy, increase your feminine energy, and also increase the energy of the cell. Think of a rose as something that is just so beautiful and so intricate. So when you put this into your body, you're really just increasing your feminine energy. Raspberry leaf is amazing for any type of womb healing, strengthening the womb, cleansing the womb. So I mix these two herbs together, and the warmth of it just helps me come home to who I am. And I think is a perfect and divine piece to what we're going to talk about today, which is you have power within your vulnerability to create the life that you want. So the first thing is understanding that the most profound breakthroughs that you could ever have come when you follow your intuition. And a lot of those times, following your intuition comes in allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Allowing yourself to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, to be touched in the way that your soul craves and desires in this lifetime. This week for me was surrounded in healing a part of my inner child that I have been placing a shadow on for such a long time. Growing up, there was a part of me that didn't feel seen, that didn't feel heard, that didn't feel felt or understood the way that my soul needed. And this week I was operating in my business, and I was coaching, and I was helping women, but I always take time to do my own inner work, and that is the reason and the way that I can show up and just be authentic and vulnerable with you ladies, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, or one-on-one client sessions. And in this week's inner work, I was really working with a part of my shadow, with a part of my inner child that I felt was muted and just like tucked away in the closet for such a long time. And the way this happened was I sat for a meditation with my inner child. And in that meditation, I set my timer for 30 minutes, and I allowed my inner child to say whatever she needed to say. I allowed her to feel whatever she wanted to feel. And I allowed her to release whatever she needed to release. I literally placed my hand on my heart, and I said to the little girl within me, the stage is yours. I am giving you full permission to show up authentically, however you need and whatever that means for you in this moment. The gift in giving yourself the sacred opportunity to heal comes from first gifting yourself a sacred space. And to gift yourself that sacred space is to create a womb of protection for yourself to be felt and seen and heard the way that your soul desires and craves. At the end of the day, we've all been wounded in some way, shape, or form. But it is up to us to either choose to live in that past or move forward in the future. And move forward in a space that is more aligned to our soul's purpose and desires. What really helps me is asking myself, who is making the conscious decision right now? Is it a conscious decision that is aligned with my soul's identity, the identity that I want to create, or is it still that 5-year-old little girl that was not felt or seen or heard making these decisions? And so creating that beautiful safe space for myself is one of my priorities when it comes to coaching and healing, and my inner work, because when I can do that for me, I can so easily do that for you. And so this week, as I was navigating through my shadow, I first created that safe space for myself, and then I decided to sit with my inner child, with that shadow, and allow her to just be as expressive as she needed to be for 30 minutes. Within this safe space, I invite a journal, I invite a pen. Sometimes I don't even use it though. This week, for example, in this specific meditation, I just allowed myself to be, and I allowed her to express. And so much came pouring out of me. And I released so much in this moment, and it was so invigorating and healing. What happened right after though, and this is how God works, is my fiance, he was traveling to see me, and he was originally supposed to come like 5 hours. So let's say it was 10 a.m. He was supposed to come at like 4 p.m. And so when I was doing this inner work at 10 a.m., I wrapped everything up with my meditation, and I decided to look at my phone. And I opened up our text message thread, and we share locations with each other. And I saw that he was in Dallas, or where I'm located. And I was like, what is he doing here? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to try to get myself together, try to, wipe these tears off in the shower, and have open arms when my fiance gets home. And so 10 minutes later, he shows up, and with the biggest smile on his face, he's, hey baby, how are you? It's so great to see you. And I couldn't shake the inner work that I had just put myself through. I couldn't shake all of the feelings that came up. Like my feelings were literally on my shoulders. I was wearing everything on my face, on my shoulders. And he asked me, he's like, baby, are you sad? And I'm like, yeah, I am sad. But my old identity, the version of me that used to be so afraid of being in my softness, that used to be so afraid of being vulnerable, I made the decision in that moment to put her aside and step into my new identity. And sometimes I think we forget about this piece of our new identity. We often associate the versions of us that we want to become with prosperity and financial gain and material gain. And while all of that is beautiful, a question I want you to begin asking yourself is, what is your emotional availability as you operate in your new identity? What is your level of vulnerability? What is your level of creating a safe space for yourself? What does that look like? And as I do this inner work, I ask myself these deeper questions, and I curate the answer that is aligned with my soul, and I do my best to operate in that. So in this moment, when he asked me, baby, are you sad? And I responded, yeah, I am feeling sad. And he's like, well, why? And I felt like, the version of me, my past self, she responded and she said, it's not that important right now. Can we maybe just go get something to eat? Or, how are you doing, babe? And he was persistent and he said, well, I want to know what's bothering you. He's like, can we talk about it? And I was like, I just don't want to talk about it right now. And he's like, okay, well, I am letting you know that when you want to talk about it, I'm open and I'm here and I'm here to listen and I'm here to hold you. And I was like, wow, thank you, And he asked again, he said, you sure you don't want to talk about this right now? He's like, let's just go lay down in bed and we can talk about it. And I was like, you know what? Okay. In that moment, okay. My higher self, this is the decision she would make. This is the decision that she would make for herself, for her relationship, for her future children, for her future daughter. She would allow herself to be vulnerable in this safe space and be seen and be heard and be felt without any sugarcoating, just in her very own feminine essence and as soft as she wants to be. And so I allowed myself to show up. I allowed myself the gift of vulnerability. I gave myself, my inner child, and my higher self permission to be seen. Are you giving yourself true permission to be seen, to be heard, to be felt? If you're not, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I knew in that moment, when I denied myself the gift of vulnerability, I was doing myself a disservice. When I denied myself that gift of vulnerability, I was doing you a service. I was doing my future daughter a service, my relationships a disservice. And, within that is so much power. We oftentimes think our power comes from how much can I do? How much can I get done? How many steps can I take today? How much can I get done in this 24-hour period? The greatest thing I have learned on this journey is slowing down, giving myself the gift of doing nothing, giving myself the gift of feeling, of hearing my thoughts, of sitting with my thoughts, sitting with my past hurts, giving myself these gifts to come into a new awareness of who I am, giving myself space to feel my anger, my resentment, my hurt, giving myself the gift of space to forgive others and myself, giving myself space to laugh. Are you giving yourself enough space to truly operate in your highest potential? So when I was in conversation with my fiance, the first thing he said to me was, if you need to cry right now, please cry. And I'm like, man, he is pulling on all of the heartstrings today. And I allowed myself to grieve a past version of myself that I knew I had to let go of in order to walk through that door. Sometimes I think we get so stuck in these subconscious programs and we remember, or we memorize these emotional patterns, and we continue to live in these emotional patterns because they are our comfort zone. And even though we know they are detrimental to our mind, body, spirit, and soul, we continue to live in them because if we make the decision to fully let go and shed that part of our identity, there is a process of shedding and grieving and letting go that must take place. If you are watching this video and you feel like your hand has been on a doorknob and you are standing in front of the door, but you are so afraid to turn that doorknob, open the door, go through the door, close the door behind you on what needs to be let go of, and just let go and step into that space that is aligned with your highest calling, I encourage you to do so. I encourage you to give yourself permission to go through that healing process and feel the emotions of that healing process and that journey, and walk through that door, and remember to close that door behind you and give yourself permission to become the greatest version of yourself. May that be physically. Sometimes we grieve letting go of the unhealthy versions of our bodies because we're so used to being in pain and we're so used to feeling uncomfortable in our own skin. But what if you just made the decision to walk through that door where the healthiest version of yourself exists on the other side, and gave yourself permission to grieve the layers of your past that is and are attached to the old version of you that lives in that old version of your physical body. The reason why I am coming on here today and I'm being so vulnerable with you is because this vulnerability that I allowed myself to feel this week has literally changed the trajectory of my entire life. It has changed the way that I show up for myself, that I show up for my fiance, that I show up for my family, my friends, that I show up for my community, that I show up for my clients, for the women that I serve. You know, I don't take this for granted, and I think these are the most beautiful aspects of life. Emotional connection, emotional availability, that is just some of the most beautiful aspects of life that we skate over. And as humans, we've learned to numb the emotions, whether it be through drugs or alcohol, or now it's social media, the incessant scrolling, you know, chasing after that quick dopamine hit so we can just forget about our emotions. And I think we can heal as a collective and continue to raise the frequency as a collective if we just face our deepest layers. I mean, you're so beautiful, and what makes you so beautiful is your depth. And I encourage you to honor that. and I honor the women that I serve in coaching that open their hearts to me and they show me their depth. I mean, that is so, so gorgeous. This is breakthrough. The last thing I would like to say is, this is why I do what I do. This is why I do my inner work. This is why I have dedicated my life purpose to serving women. This is my mission. And a part of that mission is to help you understand your subconscious programming and help you rewire your subconscious programming, but also help you reach the layers and depths of yourself that you may not have even known were there, that maybe are too afraid or too scary to navigate alone. And so for all the women watching this beautiful video and that engage in this channel, I'm here to support you. I'm here to guide you, to hold your hand through it all, and to really help you come home to the depths of your soul. That is my mission here. That is my mission on Womb Aura. And as I operate in my brand, the Conscious Freedom Movement, my mission is to help women really tap into the depths of their soul. The major takeaways from this week of healing for me is that, one, your vulnerability is your superpower. Everything you see on the outside of you is beautiful, and you've created that. But when you tap into your intuition and you follow your intuitive guidance, she's going to lead you into the most vulnerable spaces, to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, to be activated. Follow that. Your vulnerability is your superpower. Second thing is, stop, how do I want to say this? Allow yourself to express your emotions fully without sugarcoating them. Allow yourself to feel the way you want to feel, to be heard, to be seen, to be felt. Give yourself permission to take up space. And as you give yourself permission to take up space, do so by creating a safe space for yourself. Have you ever heard that quote, treat others the way you want to be treated? Flip that and start treating yourself the way you want others to treat you. If you want someone to come into your life and create a beautiful, supportive, safe space for you, do that for you first. Third is surround yourself with support, whether that be family or friends. I think being in community is one of the greatest things that we can do for ourselves, and also just as humans, that's one of the main reasons why we're here, is to build connection, to support one another. Allow yourself to come into community with others, and I am here for all of you beautiful ladies that need a guide as well, that are interested in coaching, that need someone if you need someone to help hold your hand and guide you through these deep layers, please reach out. The fourth thing that I really took away is there is so much power in forgiving and releasing the past. What you went through to get you to where you need to go. There are no mistakes on your journey. And I think for me, giving myself permission to forgive my past, to release the past and make the decision that I no longer live there or operate out of that mind that in the past, is one of the most beautiful things that has helped me evolve on this journey. And so I have one journaling prompt for you. It is, if you allow yourself to be fully seen, heard, and felt, what would you say? What would you feel? What message would you share? Ladies, I am so grateful for you. I'm so grateful to be here in this beautiful space with you. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for allowing me to guide you. And thank you for all you do for me, for this community, and the beautiful collective consciousness. As we continue to raise the vibration of this beautiful planet, we do so by tapping into our softness, our feminine energy, and building trust with our masculinity. I am so excited to be here, and I cannot wait to see you on the next video. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching, please visit my website, theconsciousfreedommovement.com, where you can learn about everything that we offer here at the Conscious Freedom Movement. I love you and I thank you so much, and I cannot wait to see you on the next episode. Bye for now.